All right, so Nvidia just posted their Q2 results, which are looking very healthy indeed. So let's go through all of the results, how they were compared to all of the expectations, and also what the share price is doing. They actually released the results after the bell, so we can have a look at what the share price is actually doing pre-market, which is actually trading down. So why on the back of these, what I think are good results, is the stock trading down? Well, we'll go through all of that, but Nvidia, as you can see, they're trading around a $300 billion market cap right now, which is quite a hefty valuation, even considering the very good results. But we'll go through all of that. And as we know, Nvidia is a chip maker, really. So they make GPUs, but they have also been going into new businesses, specifically the data center business, which is actually growing really, really well. And Nvidia have actually overtaken Intel as the biggest chip maker in the States right now. Intel not really having a very good time of it right now. They're just behind the times, unfortunately, with CPUs getting beaten out by other customers, but that is for another video. So Nvidia has the data center or the cloud processing business, and this is used by a lot of other businesses, and it is now a very big part of their overall business. Actually, it is more profitable than the GPU or the gaming GPU business for Nvidia, and gross margins are about 65% on that. So really good margins, and we'll see in their latest results just how good they are. So almost 50% now of their business is the data center business. So a very big growth factor for Nvidia. As you can see from the stock chart and the price to earnings ratio here is about 90. So yeah, it's pretty big. It is trading very high, and really this company is priced for growth. And that is actually what Nvidia gave us. So even for a 300 billion market cap company, it's not a small company, but they are growing very well. Why has the stock been trading off after hours? Well, as we can see from the stock chart, it has had an amazing run, and there's a few reasons for this. They are growing, yes. They also have acquired Mellanox, which is going to add to the top line. And also you've got data centers, GPUs, all good businesses that are growing, but also there has been a lot of talk and rumors about possible takeover bids for ARM. And well, the CEO said nothing about that really, although he said they do work with ARM and they have a very good relationship. But obviously it looks like SoftBank do want to sell ARM, and Nvidia has been mooted and rumored maybe one of the bidders. So maybe some buying of the stock on that, but this one we'll just look at their quarterly results and see how they did. So going through it, record revenues of 3.87 billion. That is up 50% year over year. So absolutely incredible growth from an already big company, and that was better than expected. Expected was 3.65 billion. They made 3.87 billion. So that is a very good positive and a big beat. And they had record data center revenue as well. That is 1.75 billion, up 165% year over year. So you can just see that data center business is growing very nicely, along with the business in general. Now, this Mellanox takeover has added about 14% to revenue. So not a massive deal, but it is a good business to have, and it has actually made some inroads into growing the revenue of Nvidia. Gaming revenue is also up. It's up 26%, and this is definitely a more mature business for Nvidia, so you're not going to see those massive growth figures, but 1.654 billion is a very good month for gaming. Q2 is not usually the biggest month for gaming, but certainly they saw a big jump in that as well. So actually the CEO, and I'll get onto this in a second, he was talking about the future and the Q3 and the end of the year and saying, you know, he's looking for some big jumps in gaming as well. So I'll talk about that in a second, but certainly data center revenue is really pushing Nvidia forward in general. So looking at the fundamentals, yeah, revenue gains have been immense. 50% year over year is incredible. And look at the margins as well. Look at the cost of sales. Really very good. You know, very high margin businesses. Not even half of revenues is the cost of sales. So you can just see this business is pumping out a lot of cash. Gross profit almost doubling year over year. And as you can see, the research and development costs have gone up a little bit, but I like that. Obviously, if you're making lots of cash, you're pumping off cash, then there's a few things you can do. Research and development, definitely for a business like this in chips, is something that you want them to be doing. So I've got no problem with that. Investing in R&D definitely is something that I like and think that tech companies specifically should do it a lot and spend a lot of money on that. And then also we have to understand the Mellanox acquisition. So looking at the financials, it looks like what they did is actually just take out a loan to finance most of the acquisition. So it cost them just over $7 billion and it's adding about 14% onto revenues. As time goes on, you might think that might increase and they'll probably get better economies of scale when they actually merge the two businesses properly. So it looks quite good. And yeah, I think the net income of $1.5 billion for the half year, let's call it $3 billion for the full year. And as you can see, the stock trading at around 300 billion. So 100 times earnings for this one. Now, is that expensive? You look at the tech industry right now, tech valuations are just going through the roof. You know, Apple, 2 trillion market cap yesterday and probably will go on from there. That business hasn't fundamentally changed from last year when it hit $1 trillion. So, you know, valuations are just pumping up, a lot of cash going into tech right now. And that is just the space you are in. So if you're looking to buy Nvidia now, then all these valuations are high in the tech space. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of the companies that are doing well are just being priced very high. If you've got in a few months ago, especially when the stock dipped or even before that, then I'm sure you are liking these results a lot. But if we look at the dividend cover, it's absolutely huge. The annual dividend is, I think, 64 cents per year. So absolutely nothing. And yeah, I guess it's a growth company. It's a tech company. You do not expect, 6-7% yields. But could they increase that dividend to increase shareholder value? Maybe, but I don't think they will. As I said, it's a tech company and that's not really what they're into. I guess I would prefer them maybe to pour that back into research and development, or would they do some share buybacks? I also doubt it. The share price is very high right now. Not really the best time to do a share buyback. If the share price fell off for some reason, maybe they thought it was cheap, maybe they'd go and do that to increase some shareholder value. But for right now, this thing is just valued very high on very high growth. So as we can see, it did trade off after the results and it's actually down a little bit in pre-market. We'll have to see what happens today in terms of the trading. Although for long-term investors, this kind of irrelevant, but it's interesting to see that it actually got sold off on the news. So why is that? Well, it's had a brilliant run. So obviously investors were expecting these results and it was priced in basically for these results. And as I said, the ARM acquisition, are Nvidia going to do this? Well, I haven't got a crystal ball, but obviously there are some people in the stock that are maybe trying to buy this on a possible very slim chance that they may acquire ARM. There are a lot of people that could do it. It would create a pretty big behemoth. Wow, I mean, ARM with all their CPU architectures and all of that knowledge, and then the GPUs of Nvidia, that would be a very good tie-up for sure. How much would it cost? Would they be able to finance it? Would it really be a good fit for the business? All of these things we don't really know, but I'm sure there are some people that are actually just trading this stock for that. Take that away though, and these results fundamentally just show us a really strong business. So into the future, they will be launching some new GPUs soon. Actually, they said that. So it's going to be the end of August. This will be the new set of GPUs and graphics cards for the gaming industry. And yeah, the CEO said that they are expecting the best ever period for gaming sales. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You've got Microsoft and Sony releasing new consoles, the Xbox and the PlayStation this year. That does not happen every year. You have a big move to online gaming as well. A lot of people just building PCs now. So it seems like a pretty solid growth business for Nvidia. So yeah, the Nvidia CEO saying we're expecting a really strong second half for gaming, maybe the best season ever. So he is expecting maybe 4.4 billion in revenue next quarter. So that would represent about a 46% growth rate on this quarter. So it's going to be a strong quarter for Nvidia, and they are hitting these numbers. So they are doing it fundamentally. Why is the stock trading off? I guess because it's just had a extremely good run and it is just at the top of the valuation. So yeah, you look at the stock price and it is trading up here, and they have to keep that growth rate up. Otherwise, something has to give. There really is no room for errors from Nvidia's point of view fundamentally if the stock price is going to keep rising like this. It's a well-traded name for sure. It's a very solid business and there is a ton of cash in tech right now, which is why you see the very high valuation. So as I said, no bargains in this space right now for good businesses. And if you're trying to buy in now, yeah, it does look a high valuation, but they are growing. It's a solid business. And as I said, if you got in a few months ago, then you are very happy with your trade right now, not just because of the share price move, but fundamentally the business seems pretty strong, pumping off a lot of cash and going into some high margin businesses. So overall, I think a pretty good quarter for Nvidia. Let me know what you think of the quarter, the share price and everything in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. That's it for this one though. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.